What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chaos. My name is Brad. Don is over there. Stock market is crazy and chaotic, and we made it our mission to help you guys own it. Looking at the markets right now, it's looking quite good. The S&P 500 is up another 0.5% today. And Don, since we spoke last, actually, it's started to give back some of those gains, but it's up around 0.3. But since we spoke last, the S&P is up another 3%. What gives?
So we bounced off a weekly zone. I got smacked on a short, by the way. Absolutely. I would say absolutely wrecked, but yesterday sucked, man. We spiked yesterday. There was that news on the China stimulus. They're just going nuts, I guess.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, man, it's just been no looking back. The S&P was at a weekly zone, but then I actually, once we got above, there's a very specific, you've seen it on my charts, the bright yellow zone. Getting above that was the bullish signal for me. So looks like we're on board the long train for now.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that real quick. So here's the charts Don was referring to. This is your daily chart, and just moving out of that zone just now. So because of it moving out of the zone, just want to clarify for people who don't know, this indicates a bullish move here for Don. So what happened today, there was a huge spike in the markets today. And obviously, as you can see, it's given back some of those gains. Let's take a look at the 5-minute here. You can kind of see, there we go. You can kind of see.
If you double click it, it'll take the RSI off.
I don't care about the RSI being there. That doesn't bother me. It's just making sure that people can see what's going on here. But if you take a look at this, it's been a pretty huge spike. So what's been going on? So, well, today we saw some interesting economic data. One of them being that we saw a slight slowing in hiring last month, as well as GDP slowing down. And this could give the Fed the ammunition that they need to either not raise rates at all, which they probably won't at this point. But then, does the conversation in 2024 start to creep into people's minds about rate cuts? And so that kind of sparked a little bit of the movement today. And I don't think that there's any reason to kind of feel bearish at this point. And it's a little bit more of a different conversation that we had last week, Don, because there was a lot of people feeling a little bit bearish in the markets, and obviously you yourself included. You mentioned that you went short, but yeah, I mean, I don't know at this point unless we get some other crazy data that says that I don't know, it's time to worry about something. But right now, it seems as if it's all systems go for equities.
Yeah, switch to the NASDAQ real quick. 2 up on the watch list. That bright yellow zone. Above that, I got to be on the long train. And below that, I guess I would be tempted to think more bearish. What I wanted to see today, and why I'm just now switching to more long, was yesterday we got the push up, and today the bears just showed up and just hammered it down home. We can call that a fake out, but the fact that they didn't tells me now we might just be getting them for the next leg up. Just back to the stocks only go up thing.
Yeah, and this is your weekly chart on the Qs. So, and I wanted to point out NVIDIA just had another monster day. Not to add insult to injury here, based off of Don's trade last week on NVIDIA, but it is. I gave you an opportunity to get out, I guess, the next day, Don.
Yeah, actually, because I was in that and QQQ, and they were red, and then like all the comments I was getting in the stream that night, like QQQ was up, and the next day they were green.
Yeah, gave back a lot of those gains and then some. But the last couple of days, it has popped back up to those highs that we saw on that earnings reaction. So another crazy move. There's still people out there that think that NVIDIA can go higher. And again, as we talked to in that conversation we had last week, this would be something that if I'm not in, I wouldn't go long or short on. I would just stay away from it because there's just better opportunities out there. Not to say that NVIDIA can't go up, but man, it's just absolutely insane where it's at right now.
I did buy some more in my my investment account though.
Yeah.
They would drop back into that zone. I was like, I guess we got to buy it. NVIDIA's the one I've just never added on because it just kept going up. What's mind blowing right now is the fact that with that whole spike up and that sell off, none of it was during normal hours. They couldn't
Right.
hold anything.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're just climbing right back up like it's just no big deal.
Right.
Like, oh shoot, Alex is calling me out. I'm supposed to watch the movie Idiocracy.
Yeah, I haven't seen it or heard of it.
Oh man. All right. Lost One says it's a great intraday trader though. It is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nvidia's a mover for sure.
All that volume you get out of it every day.
Somebody said the other day, this is what I wondered why I was saying all this. It was Nvidia is the only true ticker. It actually was Jake, my admin. He says it's the only true ticker out there that could be the next Tesla, like the movement wise, that cold fall just goes up. And it just that's why I ended up buying it in my investment account. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of watching this thing go up. Like if it goes down, I'm gonna buy more. If it goes up, I'm just gonna obviously have to buy a little bit less as it goes. I don't like buying peaks, but
yeah, Lord Fender says if AMC can go as high as it did, Nvidia can keep going. Absolutely, which is why I was not, arguing that point at all. So I think that that's going to be good. For those of you who are long, I wouldn't touch it. For those of you who are thinking about going short, also wouldn't go that route either. But nevertheless, we're not here to talk about Nvidia all day. We do have earnings that we're going to be reacting to. We got Salesforce. That's going to be, speaking of AI, that's going to be, and I say that tongue in cheek because that's probably going to be the theme here for their earnings report. But Salesforce has earnings today. They have estimated earnings per share of, had it pulled up. There we go. $1.88, $8.53 billion in revenue. Not one downward revision. And I would actually usually say, well, if everybody's going to hop on this train, then it's probably a good time to get off of it. But they got so many good things going on. I just wanted to kind of run down a couple of things fundamentally, and then I'll let you attack the charts, Don. But they have some obviously really strong leadership. The market share of 23% as of 2022 serves more than 150,000 clients in 181 countries. This is the thing. Mission and AI integration. So this is what we want to hear from Salesforce this earnings period as well. Salesforce, they said that they aim to increase or create meaningful connections between businesses and their customers. Their AI Einstein GPT is designed to achieve that by improving efficiency, aiding in customer conversions, and helping in production selection. That would be huge if that is being executed. According to their Q1 fiscal year 2024 data, Salesforce saw an 11% increase in revenue, a 470 basis point rise in operating profit, and a 22% improvement in operating cash flow. So the growth here is what we're really looking for as well. I mean, yes, they are a bit expensive from a forward PE standpoint, but the growth here cannot be understated, as well as the profit margins too. Just to get back a little bit on the AI side, unlike their competitors like Microsoft and Google, who focus on B2C market, Salesforce is a leader in the B2B CRM market, as we all know, and their AI model Einstein is expected to bolster their already strong market presence. So that is an interesting take on the AI side as far as Salesforce is concerned, and that's what we're going to hear from them today. And if they have some good things to say, which I think that they will, we'll continue to see some pretty solid growth numbers. Year to date, the stock is up 60%, but I think that there's more room for this to grow. What do you think about that, Don?
I'm checking it out right now. I was never a huge fan of CRM.
I mean, here's just as you're pulling that up, Don, here's your weekly chart. So right now trading at 214. We saw highs of this back, when everything went bananas, up over $300 a share. As I'd mentioned, it is expensive at 28 times next year's earnings, but you look at the growth numbers, I mean, it's still crazy. And the fact is that they have a quarter of the market share. They're 15% year over year. The EBITDA growth is at 75%. Profitability here also is pretty solid, 73, almost 74% gross profit margins. And man, I just don't know if there's anything that I can say that I really don't like about this company.
Zoom out a little bit more. I don't really care for 2021. I just want to get the whole picture.
Yeah.
So there's the for everyone that's watching, if you want to look at what I'm looking at, just to get the whole story. So scoot that over just a little bit, Brad.
Right here.
Keep it going. Pinch it just a little bit. Get a little more on there. All right, so you can see the 2020 crash right there. Just that quick little spike down. You saw 2021, things got nuts. We sold back off. But if you look at the lower left of the screen, you kind of have just this range going up, almost like a channel. You can almost just chop off the top and bottom of 2020, 2021, and the lows of 2023. And we're kind of back into its normal range. As a trader, I don't know if anyone cares about that as far as fundamental analysis goes, but that does tell me buyers are still kind of coming into this. It wasn't just a crapshoot. For instance, Peloton. Like 2021 went up, back down. No one's buying it, and it wasn't doing that well. That there's things that just weren't doing well before 2021. But seeing the past, just kind of mixing all that together, yeah, I guess I'd have to be bullish this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like, and we'll obviously continue to watch this one as we get into the close. We got about 3.5 minutes to close. I wanted to address one question. I thought, first of all, thanks for the love. A lot of people's welcoming me back. I really appreciate that. But Alex was asking about a stock I used to like that made electric golf carts. I think it's a different YouTuber, man. I don't know. That was not me.
Are you sure? Because even I vaguely remember something about that.
Golf cart? I mean, I remember Drive Shack. That wasn't the golf carts.
No, I do remember an EV.
Callaway. That was really
no. This is an EV manufacturer. Did they not switch to making cars? Is it Polestar? Does Polestar make golf carts?
They make like ATVs and stuff. So maybe.
I wonder if that's
like the Slingshot. The Slingshot. That's Polestar.
Yeah.
Is that Polestar? No, it's not Polestar. That's it might be. I don't know.
No, even I was curious what the answer to that was, because I remember a conversation about that. I think it was a golf cart company that decided they were going to make EVs too.
Maybe. I don't remember like being big on a golf cart company, but I don't know. Either way,
yeah.
Help me out. Give me some more context on that one. But we do have some other stuff that's also going to be reporting. CrowdStrike's going to be a big one. Obviously, I saw Don say that he went long on this. Is that right, Don?
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me some explanation as to why you decided to go long here on CrowdStrike.
Just holding sideways. Markets are bullish, so I'm just going to I'm going to take that route, take that way. Yeah. Anyway, it's an earnings play, so there's always it's roulette money, right? I'm going to put the chips on red or black. But the way that it's holding that base, markets were bullish today. There's everyone's confidence might be coming back. I don't know if they're going to announce anything AI, but as long as they can sneak that in there, I think we'll be rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot to like about CrowdStrike too, and honestly, really, the cybersecurity space has been absolutely insane as far as demand's concerned. Mike and I actually talked about this on Stockwatch Sunday. For any of our Patreon patrons, go check us out at patreon.com/ownthechaos. Links are in the description on Don and my channel. But we talked about CrowdStrike, Okta, a lot of the other cybersecurity space, and demand isn't slowing down anytime soon. The growth here is absolutely insane. If you want to get into cybersecurity space as an investor, I would say it's almost kind of like a take your pick. Make sure they got good financials and just run with it. CrowdStrike's definitely one of them. Revenue growth expectations are high, with a forecast of $724 million in quarterly revenue, marking a 35% year-over-year growth. The company has a 7-year track record of growth, boasting an 87% CAGR. Profitability, margins have been negative, but they are improving. Gross margins have expanded from 36 to 73%, signaling strong financial growth. Cash flow here is also pretty big. They show strong free cash flow despite heavy investments in R&D, innovation, and customer base. They keep an eye on R&D and spend customer growth. The company has over 23,000 subscribers and strong focus on innovation, which bodes well for future projects. There are some risks here. It's obviously super expensive when it comes from a fundamental standpoint. The forward PE is at like 62 times next year's earnings. I'll have to double check that, but the stock price is tied closely to aggressive growth projections. So if they come in today and say that they're seeing any sort of slowing of growth, then the stock's going to, of course, react negatively to that. Now, we take a look at everything else that, as far as expectations are concerned for CrowdStrike, they're expected to come in at estimated earnings per share of 56 cents, $724.39 million in revenue. As I had mentioned before, 24 upper revisions to 3 down. So I actually feel really good about CrowdStrike as well. I mean, we expand this back out too. And even if we take out, let's take this out. So we take out, this is well on its way pre-COVID. So I don't know. I think this is a good one. The growth here, it just can't be understated, which leads us right into Okta. Okta has earnings today too. Speaking of cybersecurity stocks, I really like this company because of their growing margins. There's some interesting points that I wanted to make real quick on this one. Their estimated earnings per share, or sorry, their forward PE is at 78 times next year's earnings. The estimated earnings per share are supposed to be coming in at 21 cents, 534.33 million, 36 upper revisions to 1 down.
Go ahead and switch that off the weekly. Go ahead and go on down to the 15-minute.
15-minute?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just popped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just popped. All right, let's go to the 5. Let's go to the 5. Screw it. Well, I was gonna say about how good I felt about it, but it popped. So let's go ahead and just keep an eye on that. I didn't realize it was 401. Thanks, Okta, for just being right on the dot there. All right, let's go ahead and pull some of those up then. I wanted to cover Chewy as well. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, it's the day for cybersecurity and really Salesforce. Let me see if I can pull up those Okta numbers. Okta came in, is this right? 68 cents a share. Is it 68 cents a share? I just want to double check this. I always want to double check here. Yeah, they see fiscal year adjusted earnings per share $1.17 to $1.20. The expectation there was 91 cents, so that's a huge bump. Adjusted earnings per share 31 cents. The expectation there was 21, so they beat on earnings per share. They also beat on revenue, it looks like. So really great numbers here so far, just right out of the gate for Okta. And you can see the stock's up pretty big. It's up 13.5%, still going. Let's see if CrowdStrike's actually reacted to that. Did initially and kind of gave back any of those gains. Man, Okta was not one that I thought was going to make a move like that. That is crazy. Salesforce also up around 1% here. You didn't take a trade on Salesforce, did you?
No, just Crowd.
Okay. See if there's any numbers on Salesforce here. Growth here for them is just crazy. Nothing yet on Salesforce. Looks like it's just some typical aftermarket BS.
Let me ask the chat right now. Who's in any of these plays right now? Are you guys in naked options? Who's taking some earnings YOLOs on this?
Yeah, he's playing a little roulette. Revenue came in for Okta at 556 million versus 534. So just smashed expectations big time. Again, they came in at 31 cents versus the 21 cent expectation, 556 million versus 534 expected, and their guidance also crushed.
I got one person says puts on CRM.
Oh, puts on CRM. That's ballsy.
Yeah. He's on my channel though, so hopefully he's at least paid attention. Like, like risking capital. Like it's going to zero, it's making you money. I hate when people are just rocking it, and then the next day they just get wrecked.
Yeah. So here's your this is your 5-minute chart. So we're looking at this. Oh, and it just popped.
Oh wow.
This is your 5-minute chart on Salesforce.
Let's see if it gets above that.
Doesn't look like those numbers are out yet. Maybe it's just some pre-earnings hype. I don't see anything.
Prince says would love for Crowd to just get destroyed so he can start a position. Hey, listen, Plenty of people buy high and sell higher. All right, you calm down.
All right, Salesforce is still moving. It's up now another 6% after hours. As soon as I get those numbers in, I'll share them with you guys. Here we go. Estimated earnings per share of $1.12. They beat the expectations of $1.88. Revenue came in at $8.6 billion, beating expectations of $8.53. So not a huge beat on that, but a beat nonetheless. Stock is just soaring right now.
Which one? CRM?
Say that again.
Which one? CRM?
Yeah.
Yeah. OKTA is soaring.
It's still going.
Yeah. It's. I'm trying it out on my screen to see where I would.
Yeah, it's up 12, a little over 12%. It's Okta. Getting back to Salesforce numbers, their Q2 revenue, as I'd mentioned, $8.60 billion, 11% increase year over year. Q2 adjusted operating margin 31.6 versus 28.2 that was expected. Remaining performance obligations of 46.6 billion. The estimate there was 46.25. They raised their guidance? No. Yeah, they raised it slightly. 34.7 to 34.8 billion. Versus the 34.5 to 34.7. So another, reason to get bullish on this. They upgraded their guidance. They just crushed it everywhere. Operating margin at 31.6. Adjusted operating margin at 31.6%. Whew.
You know what I'd be curious about? How many of these hold tomorrow morning? Not to be negative at all by any means, but the last time we saw a pump like this, it was NVIDIA gave it all back.
Yep.
Which would really suck to see, especially if the market's pushing up and earnings are good. I think we do just get the continuation on the bullish side. I would be concerned if tomorrow these all just go away.
I would be too. I would be equally as concerned if Okta just held these, like if it just had a crazy gap up and never gave any of it back. I'd also be kind of like feeling weird about that. It would give me 2021 vibes.
I'm already getting some of that.
Yeah.
Well, China's gonna send out their stimulus and just lower rates and everything to the moon.
It's certainly what it feels like. It's like round two. Okay, so then we also had CrowdStrike, of course. Any movement on that?
That needs to be at 1 million. Oh, come on.
It's up 2% so far.
Look at that wick. Some volume. Like the one I'm in, that needs to be at like 1 million right now.
Yeah, why is that up? 12%. CrowdStrike did come in with earnings. They came in at $731.6 million versus $724. So a beat there. Earnings per share, 74 cents versus the 56-cent estimate. Chewy also came in with their numbers. Sales came in at $2.78 billion versus $2.76. Now, I didn't get a chance to cover Chewy's expectations, but it looks like they beat as well. The real big question for Chewy was going to be as CrowdStrike's struggling to stay green here. But Chewy's was the operating margins, and it looks like perhaps they were also favorable. Stock is up 5.5%. Did you take a trade on this one?
On which one, Chewy?
At some point? Yeah, it looks like you did.
Oh, yeah, I might have. If that's a trade box there, yes.
Yeah.
It's probably been a while. Why is it so? No.
Huh?
I'll have to look at it. Hang on. Because I'm not in it now.
This is your move here on Chewy right now at 4.5. It's up 4.5% after hours. Looks like on a pretty solid beat.
Oh, I always use this as an example of so zoom back out real quick.
Like at a weekly chart
on Chewy, just zoom out. I have it on the 4 hour, but just so you can see the chart, not 5 minutes.
Yeah,
not 5 minutes. We're going to see the whole green and red boxes.
Yeah, right.
Quick little lesson here. All right, so if you guys look right On the right side, there's actually 2 yellow lines there. Yellow would be the entry. This is actually an example I was going because somebody was asking, "Hey, how would I take this long?" It'd be entry with a stop loss below the zone, with the idea of if it gets to that zone, I'm going to add on same stop loss, all risk, everything all predetermined before I ever click the buy button. So that's how I add on. Stop does stay the same. If I'm going to risk $2,000, that first trade would have risked 1,000. The second trade would have risked an additional 1,000, and I do that by measurement of shares. And that's how you can really get in and play the add-on game correctly while keeping the risk the same. It's only if you ever knew that. You had to have that plan before you ever actually go in. Clearly, this one would have been a red trade. So had you just taken full risk at that first line, you're like, oh, I'm going to average down. I'm going to dollar cost average. Yeah, whatever the excuse is, you'd have just lost so much more. Where my risk would have just been the same the whole time.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what it was for.
I like that. So there is Chewy. It's looking like it's actually giving back some of those gains. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Yeah, giving some of that back. Now turning red here after hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Check back in with CrowdStrike.
Oh my gosh.
That is red after hours. Slightly.
It's holding the zone. That's all that matters.
But they did well. I mean, earnings per share came in at 74 cents. They beat the 56-cent estimate. Sales came in at 731.63 million. They beat the 724 estimate. Looks like they gave good guidance here. Guidance for Q3 earnings per share of 74 cents versus a 60-cent estimate. Revenue was they're forecasting to come in at 775 versus 778. 775 to 778 versus the 773 estimate for the current quarter. Fiscal year guidance also raised 280 to 284. That's dollars per share versus the 239. That is a massive upgrade to their guidance. 3.03 billion versus or 230 to 3.04 versus a 3.02. So they're forecasting another 100 to $200 million in revenue. That is some crazy guidance. So they're expecting, I guess margins to increase quite a bit.
Yeah, they're no NVIDIA though.
Well, no, nobody's NVIDIA. But I mean, come on.
NVIDIA come out in their guidance like we're going to do 10 trillion the next quarter.
I mean, from a percentage basis, that's up there with NVIDIA. If we're going to go off of just, I mean, their expectation was 239, and they came in and forecasted $2.80 to $2.84. That's a massive bump. It's kind of crazy. The stock isn't really moving. I mean, I know the expectations were high for this, and it already is expensive, but damn, crazy that it's not moving at all.
I just need to move up. That's what I need to do. Not just go, how come the one I pick is the broken one? Everything else is just going off. And then I'm like, I'm going to trade one earnings right now. And then it's like crowd.
Yeah.
Duds out.
I know.
A little bit up, a little bit down.
Yep. That figures.
No kidding. It says Fidelity crashed and can't trade. Well, your first problem is being on Fidelity.
Yeah.
The second problem was ever assuming you could trade on Fidelity. I don't like to talk crap on broker. I love to make fun of TOS though. Don't get me wrong on there. But like if I'm being serious, Fidelity is the one. Like that is just for like your employer to put your 401 in. That is not ever to be anything for a trading account or anything.
Yep. Agreed. Salesforce still pumping up. It's now at the highs of after hours trading. It's now up 7%. If you guys didn't catch those numbers, they absolutely crushed them. I'd imagine we're waiting to see some chat about AI in there as well. But man, they came in and crushed it. $2.12 per share, exceeding the $1.90 estimate. Total revenue came in at $8.6 billion. That was an 11% increase year over year. They also bumped up their guidance, and it's all systems go for them. So all good things for Salesforce as the stock continues to move up. Quote from the CEO, Mark Benioff, says our transformation drove strong Second quarter results delivering revenue of 8.6 billion and record GAAP and non-GAAP operating margins. Based on performance and what we see in the back half of the year, we're raising our fiscal year 2024 revenue, operating margin, and operating cash flow growth guidance. As the number one AI CRM with industry, there you go. I wonder how many times AI is said in this report. As the number one AI CRM with industry-leading clouds, Einstein Data Cloud, MuleSoft, Slack, and Tableau, all integrated on one trusted unified platform. We're leading the customers into the new AI era. He said that we continue to execute against our profitable growth framework, delivering 17.2% GAAP operating margin and 31.6% non-GAAP, as I had reported earlier. So all systems go there for Salesforce. It looks pretty damn good.
All I'm thinking of is how many words have the letters AI in there? Because if I was in charge of even writing this report, I would capitalize and dot after every AI just for anybody scanning that document for algos.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
And then as a CEO, I would sell all my options illegally during a blackout date.
I see you, Jay Chocolate. What's up, my man? Darren says if it stays down, we should buy calls on it for next week on CrowdStrike. Who Dat says CrowdStrike should be 130 in the AM. Let's go back to CrowdStrike.
Oh, it better not be. I got to say, as far as the calls go, if it reaches the 142 zone right there in the middle,
yeah,
I would entertain that because it's held that level pretty well. I would probably go either in-out spreads or maybe some risk in capital. Give it a month, maybe 35 days, even on a naked call. Give it a few weeks, and then just rock it naked.
Yeah, for sure. See a lot of people saying hit the thumbs up. Certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, with 50 people watching a lot on each channel, give or take. I need everybody to pause for a second, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed. We're simulcasting on both channels, so whoever you're on, just hit the thumbs up button. You don't have to go. If you want to go the extra step and go the extra mile, go to the other channel, hit the subscribe and thumbs up button.
Jeff
if you want that extra credit.
Always rock it naked. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, guys. Certainly would appreciate it. I got 10 likes. We gotta get back in the swing of things. We gotta shake some of the rust off. A lot of you guys that are watching too, you guys know the drill. Hit that thumbs up. We certainly would appreciate it. Also,
if I get 40 likes, I'll do my mentorship stream in the public Discord. Just saying.
If you get what?
I said if I get 40 likes, then I'll post the my mentorship stream tonight in the free Discord.
Oh, well, there you go. How many do you have?
23. It jumped up. We still need 15 more. So
yeah, I got 24. Thanks, guys. Thanks for doing that. We certainly appreciate it. We do have some things in the works. We talked to you guys about that last week. As you guys know, there's always like some growing pains, what have you, with all that stuff. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer than we would hope it would, but it is coming. It is on its way. We certainly are looking forward to that and the amount of support that you guys will be giving us as far as that's concerned. I know that you're going to love some of the products that we're going to be pushing out. So just to give a little teaser, I mean, how many of you would just like to get a one-on-one with Don, right?
There we go. I'm doing that now.
I'm just saying it could happen. So we'll just keep that on the radar. Anton Sigursky asks, is Okta a hold now? I mean,
hang on. Is Okta's green, right?
Yeah, Telegram.
Okay, I was about to lose a gasket. Like if Okta is red and someone's asking if it's a hold, like just weird flashbacks. All right.
No, yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, Okta looks great. If you guys are just tuning in, Okta smashed earnings. CrowdStrike smashed earnings, but just not reacting like it should. Unfortunately, no idea why. Maybe we'll hear something from the CEO. It's early, right? We're only 20 minutes into the earnings. CrowdStrike just reported their earnings 15 minutes ago, so I wouldn't fret too much about that. For those of you who are long, and Salesforce is still looking damn good. They came out about 15 minutes ago as well on their earnings and crushed it too. So no missed earnings this time around, Don.
Back to OKTA though, real quick. Zoom out. Show 2018 all the way to now.
Love yourself some Okta.
What do you think is realistic on this?
As far as like an all-time high or something like that?
Yeah. What do you think's you'll understand what I mean? Zoom out to where it shows 2018 to now.
Yeah. So, well, here's 21. So 21 was at $297 a share. 2018 was all the way down. I mean, listen, 2018 they didn't have nearly the growth that they do now, or the customer base, but it was at $22. So it went from $22 in 2018 through COVID all the way up to $300.
Yeah.
It's chilling right now at $81 after a pretty solid quarter.
Yeah, keep the screen right there.
They also are priced very high at let's see here. What did I say? 79? 79 times next year's earnings. I don't see how it goes too much high. I could see it hitting, I don't know, let's say $81 right now. That's actually almost up in that zone, right? Let me go back to that.
Yeah.
5 minute. 81. I think it probably, that's all the higher it could go, at least in the short term. For right now. Long term though, I mean, who knows? Like I said, cybersecurity space is just going to continue to go bananas. But with that valuation, something's got to catch up. I would say by the end of the year, I would not be surprised if it got close to $100 and just stopped.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that. But I wonder how many people are holding it from that $300 price point, thinking this is all-time highs. Is it ever going to make it back to all-time highs?
Not a soul
to get there.
Not a soul. I'm willing to bet that a lot of this money that's coming in is new money.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of new people in here that are looking at that chart like it means something. They're looking at 2021 highs like that actually had any, leg to stand on, and it was. And I think there's a lot of false hope in the markets, just with new money. And this has nothing to do with trading or any edge to a trade. I'm just saying, if you're new and you have those thoughts, I would say it's probably time to get a little grounded into what reality is. Put that in a nice way for me, Brad.
I mean, just like,
flat out say they're stupid, but
temper your expectations. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to imagine how high it could actually go, but then nobody actually thinks about how low it can go, or what happens after it hits its all-time high. Sellers got to show up at some point. So it's just tempering expectations, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. Yeah. So Okta's all-time high was 291.78 according to Seeking Alpha. It looks like. Don't see it getting back to that anytime soon.
That'd be quite impressive.
That would be wild.
You a Jaguars fan?
What?
You a Jaguars fan?
No. What's wrong with you?
Go Jags. This guy said he'd give me a thumbs up for a go Jaguar, but I want to make sure you weren't a fan of him first. Now I hope they win everything.
Bro, I'm a Ravens fan. You know this.
Do they not like each other?
I mean, they're not even in the same division, but
see, so what's Ravens have to do with the Jaguars?
Well, because they're just not the Ravens. That's like saying, like, I'm a Chiefs fan, even though I know I'm not a Chiefs fan.
You can't say go Chiefs. Why, you mad they're going to win?
Hell no, I'm not going to say go Chiefs. Yeah, don't you know what loyalty means?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say go Chiefs. Fuck that.
Hey, haters gonna hate. I guess one day you'll become a Chiefs fan, then you'll see what a Super Bowl looks like.
One day I'm never becoming a Chiefs fan. I already know what a Super Bowl looks like, actually.
Did the Ravens ever make it to one?
Twice they've won.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. So
close.
This is why I hate having sports conversations with you, because you have no idea.
Somebody the other day asked me if I could name 5 tight ends. Like, I can't even name 5 quarterbacks.
John doesn't even know what a tight end is. So.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. I was like, why don't we listen, if you're trying to embarrass me, ask me another question, because that seems way advanced.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. It's been awesome to just kind of get back into it. And look, we're going to get back into it on a more frequent basis, but this is just me kind of testing the waters, getting back into it. I think getting into the next earnings season is when I'll start to be more regular as far as live streams are concerned, making more content. But I've missed you guys. I've missed working with Don. So we'll get back into it, and looking forward to rounding out the end of the year.
You have to have 5 seconds to give me 8 likes. Also, by the way, I do want to shout out that I am going to start. This is going to be my YouTube uniform. I ordered like 10 of these Under Armour shirts. So I have a clean one every day, but I worry everyone's going to be like, does this guy ever shower or change?
Oh,
But
no.
that way, I'm going to take a bunch of thumbnail pictures so I can do like the shocked face. I'm going to get into that, but they're all just going to match from now on. I decided I'm going to have a YouTube uniform.
Nah,
And
man,
I am going to have a new line of shirts coming out where it won't be Under Armour anymore. Right here, I'm going to do professional gambler, like in a little signature. So it just looks professional, but then you're like, yeah, professional gambler. Exactly right. Stocks and gambling, whatever you want to call it.
That's right. I like that. No, I think wearing the same thing I don't think there's a problem with that.
I always worry people would be like, is this guy ever going to not? Is this guy ever going to change clothes? This guy's like a cartoon character.
I thought about ordering like a bunch of those shirts that I designed with the bull on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just wearing those. So I might do that. I might be right there with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. That way all the thumbnail pictures match. Because I think it's weird because I have like preloaded ones that I finally took a selfie one day, and it's like a blue shirt, and then I come on wearing a black shirt. I don't know if anybody cares, but
Who dat's just happy that you're wearing a shirt. So
I try not to flex on everybody. Listen, that's that's a private stream. Okay, we don't do that here on the public.
Check out the OnlyFans, guys. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna try to make this a regular Wednesday thing, and then just keep rolling with it, and get more consistent, more frequent as time rolls by. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We certainly appreciate you. We'll keep you updated on what things that are changing with us too. So super pumped about that as well. Other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for tuning in.
Of course, have a good one, guys.